and welcome to another segment of Kids Can Create. I'm here again with the very talented beginner knitter Kaitlin. You may remember in our previous video we learned how to cast on. So casting on allowed us to create the first row of stitches on our needle. But now from here we want to actually knit something. So Kaitlin and I are going to learn now together how to make the knit stitch. Are you ready, Kaitlin? Now, Kaitlin and I are both right-handed, so when you're watching us, I'll do my best to give left-handed instructions, but if you're left-handed, you'll have to think of it like a mirror and reverse it, but I'll also verbally give you some left-handed instructions, which will hopefully help you. So, Kaitlin and I are right-handed, so Kaitlin, I want you to take the needle with the stitches on it in your left hand. Can you do that? And if you are left-handed, you'll do this, you'll take it and you'll hold them in your right hand, but we're both right-handed, so we're going to hold it in our left hand. Now, do you remember when we cast on, we had the loose loop end? So we no longer need this end at all. So don't touch it at all. See your loose loop end. We're only ever going to be using the working end, and the working end is attached to your ball of wool. So we'll deal with this later when we finish our scarf or our project. For now, we're only using the working end. So you're going to take the empty needle. So again, we're right-handed, so we're going to take the empty needle in our right hand, but if you're left-handed, you're going to take it in your left hand. And on the first stitch, there's a loop. And I'm going to call, just to help us go through it a bit easier together, I'm going to call this the front of the loop, that's the one that's facing me, and I'm going to call this the back of the loop, that's the one closest to you watching. So with the empty needle in my right hand, and it'll be in your left hand if you're left-handed, I'm going to take the empty needle, I'm going to put it underneath this needle, and I'm going to put it through the front and towards the back. So I've made a little X. So I'll show you that again, through the front, towards the back. And then with our our working end, we're not touching the loose loop end anymore. With our working end, you're going to take it under your empty needle. You're going to wrap it on top of it and around. So under and on top and around like that. Now this is probably the trickiest part. You're going to pull the needle in your right hand through, so you've created a new loop with that yarn. Can you do that? So I'll show you one more time. You're going to pull it through, then we're going to pull the needle off, the old loop off rather, the needle that has all the stitches. And have you got a new loop on this stitch on this needle in your right hand?
Yes.
You do, so show the camera. Congratulations, Kaitlin, you've knit your first stitch. How was that?
Good.
So it's quite similar to casting on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we did it before. So do you want to try it again? You're gonna do it on your own, and I'm just gonna watch you. Okay. So do you want to tell me what we just did?
Okay, so you put the needle through the front to the back.
Yeah.
And then you make like a cross, and then you put the working end around, and then you pull here, and then you make a new loop like that.
You pull it off. That was brilliant. This is Kaitlin's first time doing the knit stitch with me now, and she just taught me. So for those of you who think that knitting is quite difficult, it's not too bad, is it? So do you want to knit the rest of our row together? Once they're all done, if you're right-handed, you're going to have a needle full of stitches in your right hand. Or if you're left-handed, you're going to have a needle full of stitches in your left hand. And what you do when you're done, it's almost like, well, I was going to say a typewriter, but I don't think many of you are going to know what a typewriter is. What you do though is you go, you put it back to your opposite hand. So, and then we'll start again knitting. And if you keep doing that for as long as you want, you'll have a yellow scarf.
That's cool.
Is that exciting? You don't seem that excited, but you can make anything. So anything then that you can think of that is a square or rectangle shape, you can do really easily just by knowing the knit stitch alone. When we meet next, Kaitlin and I live in different countries now, but I'm hoping when we meet next, we can do the pearl stitch together. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Great, high five, Kaitlin. Thanks guys, that was a knit stitch.